Our student speaker this morning is Jeffrey Rue, who graduates today with a Bachelor of Science in Human Performance. Diploma in hand, he is soon headed to Japan, where he will teach English. His speech is entitled, "We Have Changed, We Are Change." Jeffrey?
Anybody else hot in here? Thought it'd be a good idea to wear my suit jacket underneath this. Not a good idea. Thank you, Chancellor. Welcome, distinguished faculty, families, friends, and graduates of the class of 2010. Today we have taken perhaps the longest walk across the shortest stage upon which our undergraduate years come to an end. For many of the families in attendance, today will be bittersweet. After so many years and so much money you have invested in our education, we return to you now unemployed. Thank you for the money. We take time today to reflect upon our experiences here at UW Eau Claire, and we eagerly await the future. But as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are but tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Within each graduate seated here is a blue gold. Does anyone even know what a blue gold is? I certainly don't. But if it means living up to the UW Eau Claire motto, which exclaims that excellence is our measure, then go ahead and call us blue golds. Earlier graduating classes before us have set very high standards. Today we inherit their legacy and make it our own. It is likely that the years I spent here have differed slightly from some of yours. I am the first member of my family to graduate college. I lost both of my parents to cancer when I was a teenager. I enlisted in the Army at 17 and then went on to spend 9 years in the 82nd Airborne Division. And now here I stand, graduating with all of you. Unlike Mr. Steiner's mom, my mom won't be here to cry at my graduation, just like she wasn't in high school or basic training or anything else. Maybe I'll cry because she's not here. Nevertheless, Mom, you did all right. There are 2 teachers here from my high school. Back when I attended Tiny Armandale High School, Bill Clinton was still in his first term, and Al Gore had yet to invent the internet. As you can imagine, after all those years in the military, when I began my college education at UW Eau Claire, my scholastic habits were found to be very rusty from disuse. I needed to relearn how to take effective notes so that I could study them efficiently. I had to brush up on my test-taking skills. I had to be taught how to use this new form of communication, something called a Facebook. I also had to become proficient at multitasking in order to compete with my slightly younger, digitally dexterous classmates. Just last week, in fact, I was writing 2 papers, creating a PowerPoint, studying for a test, cooking dinner, and folding laundry, all while I was driving around looking for a parking spot. Like me, we have all struggled to adjust to college life, traditional and non-traditional students alike. UW Eau Claire was the forge in which our diversity was tempered, and we became empowered. We can see within ourselves a vast chasm of change between the runny-nosed freshmen we were when we began and the tenacious graduates we are today. But it is not our destination that we will remember most. Instead, it will be our journey. When we exit through the doors of Zorn Arena, we will share our collective stories with all who touch our lives. We will tell of our dreadful trudges up that wretched hill, only to have to sprint back down in the scant few minutes between classes. We will speak about our participation in rallies for social justice, uniting in solidarity for causes we believe to be noble. We will affectionately recall our naps on the 5th floor of the library during finals week, in between freebasing coffee and donuts. We will reminisce about those harrowing walks over the footbridge in winter, secure in the knowledge that we were more likely to be frozen solid than to arrive in class. We will always fondly remember Susie from the cafeteria and that little box that she had to stand on, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. In fact, more than 1,500 of us are fans on this new Facebook thing. Also, we all have our favorite professors that we shall never forget, and we will tirelessly endeavor to honor them. If you know who I'm about to talk about, don't be shy. Without the help of professors such as Kakegawa Sensei, Professor Jacqueline Bailey, and Dr. Jeffrey Janet, I certainly would not be here. Thanks to their extreme devotion to student development, I can now speak 3 languages, recognize tachycardia, and actually read a book in its entirety. Additionally, a great many of us were fortunate enough to participate in study abroad. During my military years, I was deployed many times and was able to visit numerous countries. I was jumping out of airplanes and patrolling the streets, all the while wishing I could change the lives of the people in those distant lands. Thanks to UW Eau Claire's international education resources, I studied at Kansai Gaidai University in Osaka, Japan. When I went overseas this time, I carried a textbook instead of a rifle. The difference was immeasurable. So as we finish scribing this chapter in our lives and begin writing the next, I challenge each of us to continue our journeys. We are now ambassadors of UW Eau Claire to the world. Let us seize this responsibility. We can be proud of all we have thus far accomplished, but what more can we yet do? In these uncertain times, I know of two things which are assured. Today, the world is going to change. Tomorrow, we are going to change the world. So in 3 languages, congratulations, felicidades, omedetou gozaimasu.
I'm glad I don't have to give a speech after that. Whew. Thank you, Jeffrey.